Today we're going to talk about the brain, and we're going to look about how different disorders can affect it. First slide, you can see a normal healthy brain. The dark blue represents little to no brain activity, and the light blue shows more activity as well as the light green, right through here. Moving up from there, yellow has more activity, and red shows the highest amount of brain activity. So you have yellow here, here, surrounding the red, and then your red at all these different points. This second slide shows the difference between a healthy brain, which is on the right, and a brain of someone suffering from depression, which is on the left. When someone has depression, their brain starts to become less active, which clearly is visible between these two pictures shown. The more light green, light blue, and dark blue throughout the brain, there's very little amount of high brain activity represented by the yellow and red spots. So here you have the bluish green, the light blue, the dark blue surrounding most of the brain, and then your yellow, and then red. On this slide, there's a picture of an individual with bipolar disorder and an individual who does not. The bottom picture shows the individual with bipolar disorder. Their brain, unlike healthy brains, almost look like a red stoplight due to all the brain activity occurring. Most of the activity shown in this individual's brain scan shows that most of their high brain activity surrounds the outer part of the brain, as well as right in the middle, right here. It's a lot more red compared to the normal brain on the picture above. You see the difference between a healthy brain and the brain of an individual who has anxiety disorder. As you can see, the brain of the individual with an anxiety disorder looks similar to the brain with the bipolar from the previous slide. Here on the bottom, the anxiety, and then as well as the normal brain on the top. But the brain with anxiety has a less high activity throughout the brain, especially in the frontal lobe, right here. This individual has a lot of high brain activity, but also is balanced a little more by moderate brain activity represented by the yellow. It's a little darker yellow, showing that it's still very high, but not dark red. The brain to the right is a brain of an individual who is affected by schizophrenia. And the brain to the left is a healthy brain. The brain affected by schizophrenia has less activity in the temporal lobe as well as the frontal lobe compared to the healthy brain. So here's the temporal lobe. So you can see a lot less activity compared to the healthy. And then the frontal lobe, there's hardly any high activity compared to a healthy brain. They are close, though, throughout the occipital lobe down here with very similar brain activity. Those with any of these disorders are just like the rest of us, only all of the chemicals in their brains are at different levels than others. It is important to know that no one develops the same way, and every person, whether or not they have a disorder or not, all have different looking brains.